There we go. Sorry, I just had to pull my phone out. Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are all having a great day. I know Bitcoin got slammed last night and today, but we're going to be talking about all that and more, plus all the news that's going to be coming out from the Fed decision, what the altcoins are doing, and a whole bunch of stuff there. I was going to introduce Loki, but I don't know if he wants to come up. He's looking for a toy. Loki, up. No, he's still looking for a toy. When he comes back in a few seconds, oh wait, maybe. Oh, up. Oh, look at you. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. He just got done from playing outside a little bit. Yes, you good boy. Alrighty. So, again, happy to all see all of you guys here. Hey, Roberto, Peter, let's see, Exen, Donamir, Steve, Matthew, and Alex. Happy to see all of you guys here. Oh boy, I mean, what a wild, I guess, 24 hours since we've kind of been together. When we were last talking, you know, and going over the stream and stuff like that, we definitely had some, what would you call, volatility. We were really hoping that Bitcoin was going to be able to break out, have that confirmation on the breakout, whether it be on the 4-hour chart or the daily chart, and then we would have the opportunity to go back up towards $67,000 right along that 50-day moving average. Nope, we got slammed back down. Even with some of the moves from the ETF guys, it doesn't seem to be enough. And on top of that, we've seen the dollar index reaccelerate to the upside after that initial drop that we had off of the Bank of Japan starting to buy back up their currency. So it's just been kind of a shit show, and I think we all kind of realize that. Dollar cost averaging still seems to be the way. Day trading is still open to most of you guys as long as you guys have those stop losses. I think you guys are fine. Swing trades, you know, at this point, I don't know. I think you could possibly open a swing trade right now if you really wanted to. Try and think. Possibly, but you probably have a stop loss that's pretty close by, around $59,000. So we'll talk about that here pretty soon. And hey, Richard, happy to see my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. That's it. Hey, Exit, happy to see you again. Let's see. Welcome, Burrito Scarina. Yeah, it's been. Oh, hey, Alan Time and Wilder Productions. Happy to see you guys back. And hey, Cam. No, it's been a pretty shitty 24 hours here. Let me pull this back up for you guys. In fact, let me also bring up the day trading setup here as well, because will this open up a new one? Oh, no, it doesn't open up a new one. Hold on, I need to go to load layout, then go to YouTube. Yeah, and I fixed it up so when I go on this one now, I'm not going to have to worry about the Dogecoin stream. So everything's worked out pretty well. I did another stream last night, so that's good. Now let me get my coffee to keep me going here, because it's been a long day, as you guys might imagine. Okay, maybe I should let that actually cool down a little bit here. All right. So, before I go over this, a couple updates about the streams. For whatever reason, Pretzel Rocks, this is the music provider that I use for you guys. Their music keeps on stopping within 1 or 2 songs after I play it. So I'm going to keep it up as much as I can here through today's stream. But as far as the 24/7 streams where I have to be logged into a server that's up in Canada or someplace, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'm waiting for them to fix it. They don't even know it's a problem yet, so it might take some time. But when it's fixed, I'll let you guys know, and music will be back up to normal speeds here. But they were saying that's not even a problem. And if you guys were here yesterday, you saw the stream was just not in a good spot. But anyway, let's kind of go through the data here as if we can, just so you guys can see what's happening right now. Basically, no matter what you guys are looking at, you can tell we're at support right now, and things looking pretty iffy. I know we've been talking about Bitcoin being bearish, and then yesterday was the opportunity for Bitcoin basically to turn bullish, and it did not. It did not here. So basically, that bearish trend that we've been talking about, it's going to continue. I've been labeling it as bearish neutral because you can see it's kind of bearish. It's coming down, but it's not in a chaotic way. That's something more like, you know, this basically, or something like this, where there's like actually like a national type of emergency or some type of external threat to Bitcoin. Not even external threat, but, you know, banking crisis over here, things like that. Those bad news can always have some problems. But anyway, here, Bitcoin's still looking bearish right now. So I'm going to stick to my dollar cost averaging and kind of wait this out. But because everything is looking so pessimistic right now, and on, as far as we can see, we do see Bitcoin about to tap on this 20-week moving average. This might be a level of support that we aren't looking at so much, because, you know, if we break down below 59,000, we're thinking of like 55, 50, stuff like that, 52. This is around 55,721. So there might be an opportunity for us to bounce off of this. Usually it's a pretty good level of resistance, but when we break out above it, it's okay. We've had times like this where we break down below suddenly and then we kind of bounce back up. Kind of interesting there. But at this point in time, we might be able to find some support off of it. So keep an eye on that one. I think as far as the volatility that we need to be paying attention to for the next few days, you can see everything's bearish. You can see today is going to be all about holding this $59,000 support level here. And we came close to breaking down below it. Usually we get 1 or 2 taps on it. We got one right here. Maybe we'll get another one. And perhaps we'll have to see. But this trend line does extend. So if we can just get some good news coming out over the next few days, that could get us back in action. But until that happens, we're still bearish, unfortunately, especially with the move that we had yesterday. Everybody was very, very excited, me included, but nope, wasn't able to make that move. And what we do have coming up, I believe, in the first is, there we go, S&P 500 futures fall as Wall Street braces for Fed rate decision live updates. You don't have to worry about the live updates, but the S&P 500 futures slipped Tuesday night as investors looked ahead to the Federal Reserve rate policy decisions. Futures linked to the broad market index slept 0.2%. That's not a lot, but basically, even though we've been having good earnings in the, I would say, over the last couple days, for the most part, pretty good earnings, the market's not necessarily enjoying it all too much because everybody's putting in, oh my God, if the economy's still so strong, that possibly means that inflation is going to remain strong, which means less rate cuts. The fact that we did see GDP come down so much over the last quarter, I think is actually still going to be good news for us. But I think right now people are just very wary about what's going on here. So people are going to be going back and forth a little bit here, okay? Now, as far as what I'm doing right now, I'm basically just sitting on the sidelines. If anything, I'd be probably looking to open up a short here and then waiting to see if it goes down a little bit more. The stop loss for said short would probably be up here towards 64,773, kind of a hard or a higher stop loss. And that's because if we do break down below this, we'll probably be coming all the way back down here to the low 50s. Those low 50s, or even if we go over here to the mid or something like that, that's still going to be a great amount of profit there if you are shorting from here. So I'll be basically waiting and seeing at this point. Now let me go back over here to the main chart, move this around a little bit more. And hey, Nicholas, happy to see you back. Only 4 months for CZ, negative 15% for a good time. Man's got a slap on the wrist. It was very much a slap on the wrist. And it's mostly because I think he struck some type of deal with the government. Not that good of a deal to get 4 months, but he was doing something with the government. And hey, Ken, happy to see you. Same to you, Heather and Saul. Where's the support on Sheeb? Sheeb's support is kind of weird because it already broke down below that first level a few weeks ago. So remember when it came to Sheeb, we actually had a support level right over here, around 24.18. Now it's kind of this big block here where we have this wick. So if I go over here to the 1 hour chart, it becomes more prevalent. You can maybe it's kind of hard to see from this angle. You can see that scrunch of stuff right here. This is the support I'm using right now. So I'm gonna put that block back on. Right, and you can see we bounced off of it once. It wasn't that great of a bounce, to be honest, just because of how it kept on going down below that support level here. But like everything else, you can still see the MACD and everything is bearish. Right now, the support is kind of around 1903 up to about 2033. That range right there is if you wanted to buy Shiba Inu, that's where it would be at. At this point in time, I'm basically just waiting for momentum to start shifting back in other directions, because right now, you're definitely going to be buying a lot more stuff here today, but most likely just because the prices are coming down. You're not necessarily buying for day trading to go up, if that makes sense, at least for now. We'll have to wait and see what happens in a few more, let's get back to stock, there you go, in a few more hours and such. But it looks like right now, Bitcoin definitely is trying to come down for the new day here. So we'll see how altcoins are able to react to that. Probably not too well, if you ask me. There you go. Yeah, well, you can see right now, Bitcoin's coming back down. Whether or not we can make a higher low here and try to make a move remains to be seen. But you can definitely see we're pretty close to that support level we've been talking about for the past few weeks. And hey, Steve, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Ear's still kind of a pain in the butt, but it's getting there. It's getting there. When is altcoin season? It's not like a time set in stone. It's basically once Bitcoin starts going parabolic again, it'll take a little bit of a rest afterwards, and then from there, that's when altcoin season will really start. For me though, this market is so different because we're fighting heavy amounts of inflation. So I might just try to start getting more excited about altcoins, like I said before, basically when we start to officially have rate cuts, or when the market starts to price in rate cuts. So if the Federal Reserve gives out some dovish speech saying, hey, we feel like it's appropriate to fairly soon start cutting rates, that's when things will really kick off for altcoin season. But it won't be like a big pop, it'll be like a gradual move, and then stuff will start to pop later on. There we are. What about the Fed cuts tomorrow? Should we be worried? Fed cuts. Well, the Fed isn't going to be cutting tomorrow. I mean, I'd be very surprised if the Fed decides to cut tomorrow. Like here, I was just looking this up. I just typed in Fed rate decision on Google. Let me zoom in here a little bit more for you guys so you guys can see that. All right. Oh, there you go. Where's that? This doesn't really have any actually good information about it. Here you go. NBC News, not CNBC, but NBC. So, Federal Reserve not expected to budge on interest rates yet as inflation holds its grip. That should be the thing. Now, if they raise, oh my God, that'd be freaking catastrophic for all markets across. I don't think they're going to raise. I hope I'm right and they don't raise. I think they're just going to stay higher for longer and keep the rates unchanged. Now, that may have its own consequences as well. We'll have to wait and see. But I think the market's kind of priced that in at this point, and that may be leading the market coming down a little bit more. For cuts, I just don't see cuts happening right now unless something very, very bad is happening. Remember, we had a whole bunch of earnings, and earnings were perfectly fine. They're good. They're good earnings for the most part. We had GDP lower than expected. That's good. That means the economy's slowing, which means that jobs are still strong. That's good for the Fed. Excuse me. That's good for the Fed. Now, consumers will have to be patient as they wait for price increases to meaningfully slow down, economists say. With annual inflation rates stalling above its 2% target, the Federal Reserve was expected to keep its key interest rate unchanged at between 5.25% and 5.5%, the highest level in more than a decade. So, you know, not much there, right? Not much going on. Did we have a 1 month bull run? Yeah, it looks like it right now. I mean, you know, if you guys wanted to, you guys can always go over here to a monthly chart and kind of just see what's going on. Normally, let me actually go over here to this one so we have more data on the screen. You know, when we break these all-time highs, usually, we kind of go up for a few more months afterwards. Then we start to break down and have a little bit of a sideways action stuff, right? Up, break down, sideways action stuff. This one was a little bit different over here, of course, but at this point in time, you can definitely see this month coming down at least to maybe at most to 50,000 if things got really, really bad. Maybe to work down to like 48 or something like that. But right now, you're definitely seeing that bearish possibility. When we're kind of in these moods, things are a little bit better. I should describe it like this. This bull run over here, right? Low interest rates, very, very low interest rates. In fact, I might be able to no, not effective. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, now let's look at 2002, basically, to where we are now. And you guys can see that, right? I'm going to pull this over here. I'm going to move this like this. Scroll this down. I know it'll look kind of funny. Oh, is something blocking this? Something is blocking this. Okay, so let me hide that. There we are. All right, so you guys can see 2005 and whatnot. And even, actually, let me block Bitcoin as well. I'm going to, do I have pins on here still? Pin. Oh, I don't have pins set up. All right, that's okay. Basically, it means I can't like keep it on the top of the monitor. But you guys will see over here from 2015 all the way up here to 2018 in January, you saw Bitcoin going up basically, right? Now, We go back over here. 2015, 2012, all this time rates were flat, flat, flat after the Great Recession. Flat, flat, flat. Rates started to go back up in 2016, 2018, 2019, right? It was going up a little bit more. Things were still doing okay with Bitcoin because we were still at a very low rate. The market had a tissy fit back in 2018, but the cryptocurrency market, it still had a very low market cap, so people can really pour money in there, and it's not going to take necessarily a lot of money to prop up that market. Move over a little bit later on, you can see in 2020, things took a little bit of a dive here, and that's mostly just because of COVID. You saw that right here. But once that dive started to happen, boom, you saw Bitcoin go up, a lot of free money being invested by Americans because they were staying at home. The government pretty much took away their jobs, yada, yada, yada. Now you go back up here towards 2020, 2023 and whatnot. 2022 is over here. You can see that fall off. This is typical of a bear market, don't get me wrong, but it kind of matches up with the dollar index cycle quite a bit. And if, once things really started to pop off again, that was all the way over here in 2023 when things started to get a little more parabolic because we were having a banking crisis and stuff over here kind of messing up some of those long-term technicals. If you guys remember, we had like 1 month, 2 month, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost like 7 months of just going sideways here, which was just absolutely boring. However, at this point in time, rates have been high for a while. People are kind of concerned about what's going to be going on, that type of stuff, and it's just causing some issues as far as the dollar index is concerned now. So let me get rid of that very fast. Because what we were hoping for, let me go to maybe the 4-hour chart. We were hoping that Bitcoin would find a way to go up yesterday. There we go. Because the dollar index was also going down off of the Japanese buying up their currency back up, and that was going to make the yen against the dollar be stronger, which would put pressure on the dollar on the downward side. Stopping the dollar. Remember how I said yesterday? No, we're flagging. We should be breaking out, but hopefully with the Japanese trying to fix their currency, we might have an opportunity to break down. Well, look what happened. I mean, look how fast that happened. And again, we can go over here to, I don't think I have the yen popped up, but I can search for it very fast. USD to Japanese yen. No, I'm looking for the yen to the USD. There you go. See how it's coming back down now? And plus the rate decisions tomorrow. So if nothing happens, that should boost up the price even more, which is kind of being priced in right now. So the dollar index is kind of killing us at this point. But you can see it's your standard flag pattern. There's nothing special about it. But the more this goes up, the worse Bitcoin will do. And you can see right now, we're getting to levels that are about the same as we were back in 2023, towards the end. And again, once we started to fall off here in October, that's when Bitcoin really started to soar. But the question is, how much higher are we going to go? Because back over here in 2022, when everything was really shit was hitting the fan, we got all the way up here to $114. Are we just going to stop up here? If that's the case, Bitcoin's going to be fine and we'll come down and things will be fine after maybe a month or two. If we have a larger breakout, that's where Bitcoin gets into more of a stagnant territory where it's going more sideways for a long time. It's going to be kind of hard to price this in, any of this, because again, every month we have CPI data, we have inflation data, we have jobs reports every week. There's a lot of data coming out. So this thing can be very, very volatile, as you can see on this weekly chart. We can shoot up, we can crash back down, shoot up, crash back down, over a period of time. It's all over the place. So right now, it looks like we're ready to take a boost. That boost is very bad news for Bitcoin now. Another reason that we've been talking about Bitcoin being bearish for a while, I was hoping it would turn bullish, but I think we were like a few $1,000 short each time from actually having that large breakout, which is unfortunate. Hopefully this time things will settle down a little bit more, but it feels like at this point, when the MACD crossing over, the RSI crossing over, everything kind of turning bearish, either we're going to have some good news coming from the Fed tomorrow about some type of rate cut happening, or we're going to have to come back down into the 50s and kind of test the waters there for a little bit and then see if we can have some type of bounce. The good thing about Bitcoin is, even though we have volatility and such, the drops in a bull market typically don't last for a long time. You saw this is kind of a multi-month grinding. This is like a few weeks of grinding due to banking crisis. Here's one bad week, and then we kind of went down a little bit from here for like 3 weeks or so. here we're coming down for about what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, but not necessarily like that same large move from a percentage standpoint. So how far are we going to go down? Are you guys going to dollar cost average, or what are you guys going to do? What pattern is this going to turn out to be? If you guys want the easy way here, the easy way is just to wait for momentum to shift back into Bitcoin's corner. It means you won't get the bottom price. It means you won't get the lowest price, but it means you guys may not have that uncomfortable feeling of buying like I am and dollar cost average, like a lot of you guys are, where you dollar cost average and you watch the value go down and down and down. But, as the average goes down, you're investing so much capital because, it's easier to invest capital every week than just do a whole big pot, especially if you guys live like paycheck to paycheck. Your average will be somewhere down here, maybe if things get really, really bad, right now the average is probably somewhere over here. By the end of the next rally here, whenever it comes down, if your average is down here, you're going to be pretty happy with it. But if you guys don't dollar cost average, your average may be somewhere over here or over here or over here. It's going to be hard to say. Basically, the easy way is just to wait for things to slow down a little bit. The downward pressure is accelerating at this point based off of what we just saw over the last 24 hours. Now, again, I can't recall which video. I put out a video. I'm getting ready to do a few more tutorials for you guys, but I put out a video on my YouTube channel. You can look for, I think it's like a day trading strategies guide or how to set up your charts or something like that on my channel. It shows you how to get your charts look exactly like this, where you're looking at a daily, a 4-hour, a 1-hour, and a 15-minute chart. That way you guys can kind of see what's going on, and it makes it a little bit easier for trades. So you can see right now, Bitcoin is at a big level of support. This is probably where you're going to see a lot more people buying. At this point, am I buying? No, just because, again, it's kind of bearish here. You see the bearish change of character. MACD is bearish, RSI is bearish, and then the stochastic is bearish over here. On the 4-hour chart, you can see we weren't able to break out above that resistance yesterday. We got very, very close, but we weren't able to. I know it's kind of small, but just bear with me here. And then, of course, right now, everything has changed of character. It's been bearish since Wednesday, April 24th, which is just like 6-7 days ago. We still been bearish. Our chart, we've been bearish since, what, 1 a.m. yesterday? Oh, geez, that's been a hot minute. 1 a.m. this morning, 1 a.m. this morning. And you can see how Bitcoin's been going down since there. Plus, we have this trend line right here that we have not been able to break out above. If you guys wanted to do some type of scalp, you're looking for a high or low situation like we just talked about here. Oh, wrong chart. Higher lows causing that breakout from there. And that breakout could open doors up for us to go maybe back up here towards 62,000 or so, but it might only bring us back up to $61,500 before we eventually make that larger move. Because again, if you move over to that next smaller time frame here, you can see what's going on the 15-minute chart. This is adjusting a little bit right now, right? Go over here to 30. You can play around with any of these you want to, but you can see all the different patterns that are at work right now. And that breakout that we were just talking about in other time frames, or the 1 hour just a few seconds ago, is right here. That brings you up right there. If you wanted to go to a smaller time frame, I don't know. Well, this would have to adapt. So this trend line would be off a little bit here. I managed to break out to a double top right here and get rejected back down. Probably not the best one at this point in time, mostly because the hourly one is so bearish, but yeah, breakdown right there. Yeah, kind of in an iffy spot right now, kind of in a really iffy spot. There you go. We'll go back to this. Oh, I might hit random buttons. There we go. All right. Point this up right here, and there we are. Okay. How do you know when it'll be worthless buying Bitcoin? Oh, I don't think Bitcoin will be worthless. There will come a time where it might not be worth it to necessarily buy it, like a lot of it. But that's when the value gets really, really crazy out there, where it's kind of almost like a Berkshire Hathaway type of thing, where the number is just so high. At that point, the cryptocurrency market will be so much more involved. Like it will have evolved so much that I think it'll be worth it to just load up on smaller tokens and stuff like this. Because we're not going to have crazy rallies every cycle, going forever. There's going to be a certain point where the companies that are actually doing very, very well, their tokens are going to be rewarded by having lots of volume go into them. The beautiful part about it, though, is it's a global system. So these altcoins and such can really get a lot of capital from it, and hopefully if there's some type of crypto service in place, you know, maybe it's not in America, maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know exactly how it worked. If a token has a really high market cap and they own a lot of those tokens themselves, they can use part of that as collateral to get loans to grow their business and do more international stuff. So they're not necessarily under the umbrella of the United States, which could give it more opportunities to really thrive. And again, get the coins pumping up even more over time. Hey Edwards, yo man, I'm late to this party, but I'm still dropping. Yeah, dollar cost averaging is always going to be one of my favorite ways to get people involved in the markets. It's just less stressful. You know, when you pop down one large trade, it becomes so much more difficult to enjoy just holding the asset. A lot more worse. And hey, Rounder, happy to see you, my man. After Powell's speech tomorrow, gonna go to 68K. What do you call? I'm curious to see what he's gonna say. I don't know exactly what time his speech is. Let me see. (12:10 p.m.) I'm guessing this is gonna be Eastern time. So 12:10 p.m. Eastern time is when he's going to be talking. You're going to see some volatility coming out there. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. Now, hopefully he gives out good news. That would really give Bitcoin a boost, like you're saying. If it's not good news, you're going to have a lot of buying opportunities, to say the least. And hey, so yeah, that's also a possibility right now. I think people are just kind of worried on top of what's going on with inflation and Jerome Powell during the monetary hike tomorrow, or monetary announcement, I guess you would say, where he's probably going to keep rates the same. We did see that happen back in, January or what it was? Let me go over here, back up. Let's go to the 15-minute chart here, and let's just kind of zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, we can do this. Nope, we need to go back a little bit further. Yeah, that move. The post ETF move was freaking, it was nuts. It was wild. I was dollar cost averaging this up, but I had no idea how much further it wanted to fall because we were breaking down below larger support levels here. And, you know, all of a sudden, boom, found some support off. I think it was a moving average, something like that. And then we started to really rumble up here. We could definitely have a situation like that. But I'm hoping that the ETF volume coming out of Asia is going to be a lot better than what it was. Not that it was bad, but you just want to see more and more and more volume come in here. That'd get people more riled up, I think. There we are. Hey, Discount, you predict bad news? That's probably the best way to think about it right now. And hey, Donamir, I'll try to check my email. I don't check my emails usually too much unless it's business stuff, but I can check, see if I can find it. What is the Hong Kong ETF going to cause Bitcoin to do? It's just part of that longer term strategy to get more money invested in Bitcoin and make it easier for hedge funds and those with larger amounts of capital that want a safer way to invest in cryptocurrency, a vehicle to buy Bitcoin. Because maybe if they're buying the ETF, they're not technically owning any Bitcoin, but the ETF has to buy the Bitcoin as the underlying asset usually. So that means more people are buying up Bitcoin. Now that we're post-halving here, what that should mean is there's going to be less Bitcoin at a certain point, right? There's still lots of Bitcoin floating out. Whenever we start to really churn and get really strong again, maybe we have to wait for rate cuts, maybe something else happens in the meantime. But when that starts to happen, there is only going to be so much Bitcoin, so it is going to make the price go very crazy in a short amount of time. And so that's kind of what it means for the long term. It just adds more to that craziness whenever it does start to come up. And as far as yesterday, it did lead us to go a little bit higher for a shorter period of time. But then, of course, the whales just came in and just knocked us bad down. And, of course, the dollar index breaking out. Dollar index is getting on my freaking nerve right now because you can see the pattern, but you don't want it to be following it because we have, there's some news every now and again like, oh, maybe Japan's going to fix itself, But I don't, it was only a one-time thing, I think. Bank of Japan. Bank of Japan account suggested Japan intervened Monday to support yen, right? So it might have been like, if they keep on doing it, if the Bank of Japan starts buying up a shit ton of their currency, that's great for Bitcoin. Think of it like that. But they only did it once, and then after they did it, whew, we came right back down. And part of the boom we saw yesterday was actually the Bank of Japan buying up the yen, causing the dollar index to crash hard, and then causing the yen against the dollar to start to soar here. So, and if we don't do anything tomorrow, that is worse for the yen as well. Remember, while we have like a 5.5 or 5.25 interest rate, Japan has like 0 interest rate. Like the number is like 0 or 0 to 0.25. It's not good. Japan will struggle to rescue its plummeting currency. Bank of Japan upbeat on consumption service price outlook. The yen's plunged in the dollar devaluation. So it's kind of a rough time for currencies right now. We fighting for the SSL like hell. And Anthony, yeah, dollar cost averaging is still going to be great right now. No matter which support you guys buy, it'll be good. It's going down at Colombia very soon. Oh yeah, I've been hearing about the protests. I was just talking to a friend today about them. I was telling him about all the protests going on out here in Washington State. By me, there's a university called the University of Washington, and they just started a protest there. So I was like, I'm just going to avoid the whole area. I don't want to be part of that because I've walked through protests plenty of times. I'm usually on my way to go do something else, but I'm not afraid of walking through a crowd of people protesting some stuff in order to get what I need. You know, usually protests are pretty chill. But the last time I went to a protest, I was on my way. I was going through one of my coffee pilgrimages where I go to a whole bunch of coffee shops around Seattle. I kind of walk. I basically start on the top of the hill, make it easy on myself, and walk down the hill all the way to the water. And I go to a whole bunch of coffee shops. It's like it's a bunch of zigzagging basically. But what happened was I got caught up in a protest. I didn't know exactly what they were protesting. It was a police brutality type of thing. And I was walking through the street to the other side, and then boom, all of a sudden, the police started launching tear gas and flashbangs, and I was like, holy shit, I almost had a heart attack because I was just not prepared for that. And then I just started booking it, and I was just like, out of breath. I was like, I can't deal with this shit. And I went along and got my coffee and whatnot, but they tore up like half all the coffee shops I went to. There were broken windows and shit from people throwing rocks and stuff. And I was like, where do you freaking find rocks in downtown Seattle? It doesn't make sense. But yeah, it was wild time. So I typically steer clear of protests nowadays. Now that I'm getting into my late 20s, I don't want to deal with that type of stuff. I want to make myself have a better life. The people on my YouTube channel have a better life. But everybody outside that circle, you know, I'll help them every now and again. But really, it's a lot easier like to help a few people out, a couple hundred people out, than it is to change the world. And I'm fine with helping out a couple other people, you know. And hey, Mop Boy, appreciate the super chat a lot. Thank you very, very much. Why is Crow with a knife still pumping despite? I'm guessing despite how brutal the market is right now, certain tokens are still doing okay right now. Typically, if they have a really large fan base, you're going to see them continue to move up higher and higher and higher. I was actually talking about a few tokens a few days ago on my Blowfin account. Where am I logged in? Oh, let me log into this really fast. Where, everything is pretty much red except for maybe 2 tokens. And that typically happens quite a bit here. Sign in. There we go. See how there's some green behind my head, but mostly everything else is red? It happens. It happens. Now, it's kind of abnormal when it does happen, but typically you want to make sure that you're scaling out during that process. You're not really loading into more, because if Bitcoin does take another dip, you're definitely going to feel that hit it eventually. So what I do is I don't sell everything. I just typically say, I'll sell off 10% here, 20% here, 30% here, and that way, or move up your stop loss. That way you're not really at worst risk of losing any of those profits. But yeah, it happens quite a bit. It just happens with a lot of those lower market cap tokens. It's not going to happen with the larger market cap tokens usually, because they're really, they really follow Bitcoin's price action. For the one you're talking about right now, let's see, coinmarketcap.com. You said it was Crow with knife. Yeah, number 2,484. The market cap is $98 million. That's about the market cap of some of the tokens that I have on that Blowfin account. Yeah, that's what you're going to see. Very, very, very small amounts. Let me see the X page here. only 12,000 followers. It's a very, very small community. It's not going to take a lot of money to keep that thing going. Eventually, it will fall like a rock. But while it's pumping, enjoy it, you know? Nothing like a side of tear gas with your morning, Joe. Dude, it was absolutely wild. It was absolutely wild. Ooh, nice discount. My FBTC I bought on day one of ETF has been up 700% since. And if you buy and hold, it usually works out pretty well for you. And I'm betting a lot of the hedge funds are realizing that as well. And hey, Kilo, Michael, not to worry about you, but be careful with ear infections. If you get any swelling around the ears, look into mastitis. It can be serious. Let me look at it here. Let's see what it is. I don't know what that is, but I will look into it. I'll talk to my doctor. I got another appointment next week. Basically, my ear is getting better, but it's still somewhat clogged a little bit, you know? I'm wondering if that's just allergy or something, but my ear is a lot better. There's pain if you, like, there's no swelling or anything like that anymore. That's gone away due to the antibiotics, but basically it's, that tube is still kind of clogged. It could be from allergies. It could be from something else. I don't exactly know. The doctor said allergies, but well, I am having stuffy nose right now, so that could be part of it. But there's no more pain, which is kind of nice. I don't want to be poking and prodding and stuff like that, but yeah, there's no more pain, so that's kind of good. I would say more irritation than anything, just because that weird feeling in there. I'm sure if I jam something into my ear, I might feel pain on the very inside, but I don't do that, so. But thanks, Kilo, I appreciate it. For your ear, get antibiotic eardrops. I've had problems with my ears for years. It will help. Oh yeah, no, I got antibiotic eardrops and I got antibiotic pills. Yeah, I got everything covered, guys. I went to the doctor. The antibiotic eardrops, I don't like them as much, but I still have it. Basically, my right ear always feels a little wet now because I have to use those eardrops. And then just weird, right? It's just very, very weird feeling. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Oh yeah, it's you know, I'll show you guys where it was at. It'll just take a second here. So Seattle maps. I remember exactly where I was because I always started off in the Capitol Hill area, the little pilgrimage I take. So you go over here, by this park. Right here is the Seattle Police Department East Precinct. So I basically was gonna chill out by this field with a couple friends. Then I was gonna say goodbye. And I was gonna walk down here, and there's a bunch of coffee places. Like they have the Starbucks Reserve Roastery. Like people don't know, Starbucks has some really crazy cool places where you can buy a whole bunch of cool stuff. This is usually the first place because I like to get just a little bit of coffee here. Because typically, actually, I don't like average Starbucks coffee. But every now and again, they have a cool new blend that I want to try. And if I don't like it, I just give it to a friend. And they're like, "Oh, that's some fancy Starbucks coffee." And they're like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're welcome." But what do you call it? You know, you can get into, you can get cocktails, you can get a whole bunch of stuff at the, you know, at the nice places, right? See how they have, the stuff isn't that good of a quality of pictures, but there's a bunch of stuff you can get at this place, which is really, really cool. So I usually will start walking down here, then, you know, go down here, and then you get Pike Place Market has coffee places, and some coffee places kind of hidden around here as well. Even over here at the Pike Place, there's a coffee place, right here. No, right there, Storyville Coffee, Pike Place. There's another coffee place, Pike Brewing. There's a bunch of coffee places. Okay, it's Seattle. We're addicted to this shit. And I also get my teas at the same time. But right here, freaking huge, massive protest, and then yeah, police were right here, and poof, 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 and oh god, I almost shit my pants. I had that issue a lot as a kid. I got tubes put in the ear and never had another one. Well, that's good then. Well, see, I've never had this happen before as far as like this type of ear thing. So, well, actually, once. The last time it happened, it was because my wisdom tooth was growing into my molar and that got infected and that was irritating here. So, Now I'm just gonna finish up taking the antibiotics. Now I'm gonna like check in with my doctor next week and see like, hey, is it good? Is it bad? Because I've already had multiple doctors like putting that little camera in there, and they're like, well, there's no infection, there's no gunk in it. It's like, you know, it's a perfectly clean ear, but basically it's what do you call it? It's just inflamed, they said. And I was like, okay. And so because they don't see any, I guess when you have ear infections, something like that, there's actually like shit in your ear, which I didn't know about. I don't know ear science, guys, but basically, they all say, since I'm having a little bit worse allergies this year, that little tube right there is pretty clogged up, or it's kind of getting closed up a little more than normal. So the air pressure isn't really, it's not working. So like there's a little bit of pressure buildup in there, and that's what's causing the inflammation. So hopefully, you know, I don't got to worry about any more stuff. Because, well, to be honest, well, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's anything crazy at this point. But if there's like a lot of pain that comes with it or something like that, I'll let you guys know. Remember, it feel like when there's pain, it feels like you can't pop your ear when you go to when you're on a flight. Does that make sense? You know how you pop your ear and it hurts? That's what it kind of feels like. So if I pop my ear, it kind of hurts. Not recently because I've been, I guess taking all the antibiotics and stuff like that. But you know, it's kind of a weird thing. Maybe I should get tubes put in though. Maybe if tubes help out, maybe that might be something to just keep everything going smoothly. Because I hate the pressure thing. The pressure is freaking horrible. Anytime I get a cold, I get that clogged ear thing, and sometimes it feels almost deaf from it. Doctors always say not really anything that can be done. The fluid will eventually drain out through your sinus. That's what I've been told too. I was just happy there was no gunk. Because like, if you go on YouTube, like here, I'll show you guys very fast, because I got paranoid for a second. Because I thought it was something really, really bad before I went to the doctor. And if you go over here and you type in ear infection. Oh. Right? Mine probably looks something like that, which is kind of inflamed or something like that, right? But if you go infection removal, see how there's like gunk and shit in there? I thought something like that might be in my ear, but there's nothing in my ear. So, you know what I mean? Like, look at all that crap. So the reason I'm not as concerned anymore is because I know from the doctor telling me like, oh no, there's nothing in your ears. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Because, you know, when you lose part of your hearing, which it was more in Vegas than anything, because of the dust over there. When you lose part of your hearing, you just feel like you usually think there's something in your ear, but there was nothing in my ear, which was like, whew, got lucky there. Thoughts on Solana? I would say if you're going to be going into that, it's just better to dollar cost average maybe once every week, because it is getting a little more popular right now. Once a week seems a little bit better than once every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, every month, something like that. And then you would probably want to have a set amount of income in it, and then you're just going to wait and hold. If you already put some Solana, like you said, just wait it out. You know, just wait. Don't feel like you have to keep on doubling down, triple down unless you really want to. But, you know, maybe you want to add one more Solana if it really decides to plummet or something like that. But I would think it's fine. I remember having to get my ear drained, so gross. I'm happy I haven't had to do it yet. I'm happy I haven't had to do it yet. Popping my ears after a flight is almost orgasmic. Oh, yeah. My worst feeling is when I actually will get a... like my ear will hurt on a flight because I forgot to pop my ears because I fell asleep before we took off. And I'm waking up, I was like, my ears hurt. Then you gotta forcibly pop them, and it's like a painful thing. It's like when you touch a doorknob knowing you're gonna get shocked because you've been sitting on carpet for a while. It's like that feeling. You know it's gonna hurt, but you just gotta get it over with. Peroxide is a miracle drug. What do you call I haven't put any liquid in my ears besides the antibiotic ear drops. So I've been trying to follow the what do you call whatever the guide from the doctor, and it's been working okay so far. A nasal flush? Oh, that might be interesting as well. Maybe I think I actually have one of those machines hidden away, but I think you're supposed to just get a new one every time because just to make it sure it's actually clean. I scuba dive frequently and other water my ears end up with the same ear infections. Oh yeah, terrible thing. Exactly, yeah. Exactly, yeah. What do you call? Oh yeah, I never even thought about going into, like, I'm not a big swimmer, but what do you call, or diver, I should say. I like to swim, but like laps. Yeah, that would definitely freak me out. Most earaches are from inflammation in the thin membrane at the end of the ear canal. It can be infection related, but earaches hurt like hell to me. Yeah, they definitely do. Well, I haven't taken any pain pills today, but I probably should maybe tomorrow or something like that. I try not to take too many of them because they're like some strong ones. They're the ones I got from my mouth, though, not my ear. So they're like totally unrelated, totally unrelated things. But after I had my root canal, my tooth didn't hurt at all. I was fine. It was a little bit of aching, but not like a, you know, not worth the big pain medication that they gave me. Because what do you call it? If they, how do I say? Like, I don't want to be loopy while on stream. I'm still debating. Like, some of you guys have said you want me to like have a joint while I'm streaming one of these days. I wouldn't smoke live, but I might take a quarter of a puff, and that might be okay. But I have a very low tolerance for marijuana, very, very low tolerance. So I'd be blah, 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 in a matter of minutes. All right, there we go. Bitcoin's still moving down here, unfortunately, but we're gonna have to wait to see if they have another surge here. What I wanted to do is I wanted to open this up, but something else is here. I forget what it is. Not that. This one? There we go. Oh, so this opened up another Bitcoin chart right there. I see. So let me go over here. Let's go over here. Let's have that one be this one. Let's have that. Can I drag this over enough where it'll fit? And I think we got ourselves a winner right here. There we go. Drag it over here so you guys can't see it. And now we got some of that. Although it looks like I need to drag this down a little bit. There we go. All right. And let's move this over here to maybe $500,000 limit. 345,000 should do the trick. There we go. All right, perfect. Sorry about that. I want to make sure you guys can see that, especially if there's a big surge in volume here. I want you guys to have a visual representation besides this chart going down. Yeah, altitude pressure. Oh, that's bad. And hey, Dick. Yeah, that might be for the best, actually, not be smoking so many cigars and whatnot. Cigars can be prolonging the system. I'd probably bet you guys are right there, so I'll just wait a week or so for everything to kind of fix itself up. Sometimes, oh yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, let's do a little bit of a check, guys, about what's going on here with the rest of the altcoins, because you guys know with Bitcoin coming down, everything else. In fact, Dow Jones came down today. The NASDAQ came down today. The stock market's going for death crosses here, everybody. So just get ready for that. Here's the daily chart. Death cross on the daily. The first one in a long time for the S&P. The last time we had one was all the way back over here in August of 2023. We had a few weeks of going down, then we pumped back up. The NASDAQ over here, death cross a few days ago, still coming back down. And the Dow Jones having the same thing here. So you are seeing those death crosses really come into play. It'll be interesting to see how much further we come down due to all this stress in the market. And again, when the dollar index breaks out like this and goes higher, that also does affect the stock market as well, not just cryptocurrency. Oil is coming down, which is interesting here. We haven't had much tit-tat going on in the Middle East. I've been trying to see if I should be selling off some of my oil stocks or whatnot, and I think I'm getting close to trying to sell some off. You see PXD coming down a little bit more. Basically, I have a 20% stop loss on a lot of my oil plays. So if it breaks down below this, 20% will be sold. I'm keeping a lot of this stuff just because of dividends for the most part. But you know, I have a stop loss for this one around 264. It says 265, but it's 264.37. Really just 264. You got things like Schlumberger coming down quite hard over the last week, really having a complete breakdown. I don't own as much of this because this is a little bit more liquid natural gas, but it's still important. Now, things that I own more like Devon Energy, I own some of that. It's coming down the same way. ConocoPhillips, I own quite a bit of this, coming down quite a bit. My favorite, of course, is that PXD. You can see how it's holding up a little bit better, but even that's going to probably be sold here in a little bit. So for those of you guys watching me in my oil journey here, I'm going to start selling some of this stuff off here pretty soon, just because I'm getting good dividends, good dividends and good profits for the past few years. I think it's time for me to start shaving a little bit of this off. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with the money. I really think I'm just going to invest in some 3-month treasury notes or 6-month treasury notes and just hold the money in there for a little bit of time, let it mature, get the money back, and then figure out what to do, figure out what the market's doing afterwards, because I think this next few weeks may be a good opportunity to buy, or maybe next few months, depends on how low we go. But I do want to be holding a little bit more cash on hand. And right now, a lot of my money has been in oil, like a lot of it, because I haven't felt really too confident about anything besides tech and oil. And hey, multi-stacker, holy bit nerds buying up that dip. Maybe time for some puts. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would probably say buying some up over the next few days might be okay. It's just the volatility has been spooking me out, because even when we do have some big drops like this, you're going to have to scale out. Why does it keep doing that? Hold on a second here, guys. I wonder if I didn't exit out of it when I was streaming last night. Because basically what I did was... Let's see. What I did basically is I was going to reset the whole stream for the Dogecoin stream, but then I realized I had an extra stream. So basically, since I have 2 streams or 2 servers, I just sent both signals. You know, both signals were going to the same stream on YouTube, but then I just removed the old stream, and then only the new one was actually there for you guys to see. So everything should be working okay besides the music on that stream. But if I'm still have this open on this other account, that issue is going to still persist for me, which is going to be driving me nuts. Because I have to rent these damn servers. Yeah, it is having this issue. This isn't streaming anymore, so I can close this here, and that should work out okay. And I can exit that, and everything should be fine. Should be fine. We'll see how that works out. All right. But yeah, you can see how we've had some really crazy whiplash effects. I would most likely be looking to buy SPY puts, or if you're going for a particular stock, make sure the earnings have already passed. Don't go pre-earnings, because things can get kind of wild, because there's a lot of sympathy plays out there. Like, I think today, wasn't today AMD's day as far as earnings? 5. Wow. I would have thought they would have done well. AMD fell how much though in after hours? So close right here. 7% after hours. You know, Google had a really good earnings. Look at that earnings. Whoop. You know, so there's been some good and bad, but you see what happened? Google just started coming straight back down, because the whole market's coming back down, right? Nothing can hold up against that entire market. How's Nvidia holding up after hours? Oh, Nvidia is getting hit pretty hard after hours as well. Now, Nvidia, can I go over here to maybe the daily chart? You know, Nvidia earnings aren't all the way until May 22nd. A long, long way away. But that sympathy that you get from certain industries or similar industries, it's really having an effect. And if Nvidia starts going down, though, AI is propping up this whole market, guys. It's propping up everything. We want to see Nvidia continue to do very well, and I think they could be. But man, it's kind of, it brings out the worst in us. You know, we get really worried about all that type of stuff. There we are. Vertigo too. Yeah, my mom dealt with that a lot. Hopefully this whole thing finishes itself out, but I guess I'm not going to be able to smoke for a while, which is going to suck. Keep on doing the eardrops, keep on taking the pills. It'll be fine. And every now and again, I do a little, you know, saline nasal spray type stuff, which also helps out. Maybe washing my face and keep my nose as debris free as possible. You know, like how you get, you spend some time outside and boom, your nose is all stuffy. Just like Amazon, yes. Yeah, there's been some good plays and some bad plays out there. Do you think so far it's going to be a buy? No, not really for most assets out there. I'm kind of just in a waiting mode, especially in the stock market. Everything's gone up so much. Again, remember guys, in the stock market, we usually have returns anywhere from like maybe 15 to 20%, maybe 20% is even kind of high. We already kind of reached that level. We're already up there a lot. So typically what happens is if we're already at the yearly goal and it's only like the first quarter, what happens? We typically fall back down a little bit, go sideways for a while, and then maybe towards the end of the year, we have some type of larger breakout where everything starts to go well again. The market already had amazing gains for the year. Everything's been really cool, really great, because everybody was pricing in a lot of rate cuts. We don't know exactly how many rate cuts are going to be around right now. There's a lot of speculation around it. If I were to guess right now, due to the low GDP number we had a few months ago or last month, well, actually this month, Jesus, sorry, I'd say two. I would say 25 basis point rate cuts, not a 0.5, not a 0.75, not a 1, none of that. 0.25 times 2 separate cuts. That might be the best that we can hope for at this point in time. That's not necessarily good for the overall market, but I think right now something that could help out Bitcoin, could help out the stock market, is if we get the dollar index to come down and not up. For that, we really are beholden to Japan right now, because Japan is fucking up everything. Their currency is fucking up everything. Not like the Japanese people, but just, currency. Hey, Discount. Yeah, their growth is what's causing some issues there as far as Comcast. Here, let me show you. Simply Wall Street. Bloomberg has so many paywalls. Let's see. Where's the bed? Where's that? No. They were saying nothing was bad. There was bad news in there because I remember I tossed in the chat GPT and I let him go look into it. That's not it. Sheds more broadband subscribers. That's it. The business model is just kind of going down a little bit. And I don't think it's necessarily anything really terribly bad with Comcast. Like if the market turns around, it's going to be an okay time to buy. But I think it goes to that feeling where a lot of people have kind of gotten into that new world mindset with subscribers and stuff, where Comcast has kind of ditched that as their main revenue source, if you will. Now, Netflix is all about how many subscribers they got, Hulu, how many subscribers, Disney, how many subscribers, Paramount's in the shithole right now because they haven't been able to get a good amount of monetization from their streaming platforms. It's stuff like that. And when you're losing users, it just signals like growth isn't doing too well, and it kind of just spooks off investors a little bit. It spooks me off. Now, I know hedge funds and whatnot probably going to be buying into it even if it's going down. For me, I'd want to see it come down quite a bit, because as inflation continues to kind of erode people's finances, I think it's fairly easy for people to give up cable once they get used to it, As somebody who's ditched cable myself, I think it's fairly easy to leave it behind. Now, I pay for the cable company for my internet and stuff like that, but as far as TV, I don't need it. Phone, no, I don't need it. So I think that's what's kind of going on with them. SNDL had a pretty good day. Oh yeah, I haven't seen that stock in such a long time. Hopefully it's doing pretty well. I think I have like a tiny bit of it in one of my longer term portfolios, but it's definitely been more of a roller coaster ride. And then Monster, happy to see you. The saline rinse works pretty well. Yeah, I got a few of those little things you're squeezing your nose, and hopefully it works out. The saline rinse is a lot better for you than the ones that have like medicine and stuff in there that kind of fucks you up if you take too much of it. That's worth the saline stuff even more. Now I wonder if we're gonna be able to break out above this 200 moving average here. If we are, that might gear us up a little bit more for a move. Might not be the biggest move, but it might keep us going a little bit longer. Because remember, we do have a potential breakout that could happen over the next few hours. But if you guys are looking at this, it's still pretty rough. We are having a golden cross off the 15 and the 20. That's actually pretty good news here. To a lot of people, that might be signaling a good buy opportunity here. What moving averages do I use? I use the 20, the 50, and the 200. You can use other ones if you want to. It just depends on the scenario. I would even say for day trading, a lot of other people use like the 6 and the 9, not even SMAs, just EMAs and stuff. So there's lots of opportunities. But what I usually say when it comes to which ones would work best for you, I would go over to ChatGPT and just tell it your style of trading and say, hey, which EMAs or SMAs should I be using for this day trading strategy or this swing trading strategy? And tell it specifically, hey, give me 5 combos to test out, or if you want to have 3 moving average or just 2, let it know all the information, and it'll give you a few, and then basically back test those with your strategies to see which one provides the better results. It may vary from token to token or stock to stock, so just keep that in mind. Other than that, it's a nice, easy way to have AI kind of guide you, and then you can make your own list and kind of test out everything and see what works out. Let's go back over here very fast. Get a sip of coffee in me too. How's everything looking here? Bitcoin's down, everything's down. At least over the last 90 days, I know you guys can't see it here. At least over the last 90 days, everything's up a little bit. Yeah, last 90 days, Dogecoin's still up 68%. Altcoin's up 150. ADA over the last 90 days is down 10%. ADA has just been taking a shit sandwich. It's been taking a clobbering. Shiba Inu is up 147%. AVAX is up 0.54, not really good. Tron is up 7%. DOT's up down 3%. So there really is some decent moves here, but there's also some really bad moves where certain tokens just haven't been moving. You know what I should do? I should make an updated watch list for us about what tokens to buy during the dip, because I have this older one here where it's buy during dumps. When I showed this to my grandfather, he thought I was talking about what tokens I buy when I'm on the toilet. But you see all this stuff happening right now, like this type of stuff. I want to switch some of this stuff around and kind of add a little bit more. Like Fallout over the last 90 days is up 80%. I like that one a lot. ELF is only up 4. I'm probably going to take this off the list. I'm going to add some other stuff in here. But last time I did this, these things all worked out. Like Fetch is up 260% over the last 90 days. GRT's at 50. I don't want to have GRT on here. The market cap's a little bit too high now. Internet Computer, I'd probably keep that even though the market cap's kind of high just because it was up around $400 at one point. Solana, I probably keep that on, but it's on the edge. ONT up 60%. Some of these tokens really worked out well, but I think I need to find more here. I only have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I probably want to have 15 to 20 tokens where I can dollar cost average if Bitcoin does break down below this $59,000 level support and it starts coming down low. I think I'd probably want to buy up even more of these, but I'll have to save that for tomorrow or maybe even later on tonight, because I want to put a formal list and just kind of see how everything's been doing. But so far, it worked out pretty well. And those tokens that you guys own that are not on here as well, these are just some of the picks that I made by myself, in my spare time. But I will be adding these on here, then maybe I'll talk about them, because right now I'm working on a new series that I want to do with you guys. Like I'm doing another beginners tutorial to trading type of stuff, where it's going to be like my trading strategy, but basically showing some math and examples inside of it as well. So a little bit more boring, but kind of almost like a mini course, but not a large course. What's it here? NA Cam, if you want a dollar cost average, I've been dollar cost averaging. I dollar cost average every Thursday. So yeah, I'm all for dollar cost averaging. I've been checking against the banter bubbles, adding the big red bubbles, LOL, and Bitcoin at the top always. Definitely, buying the dip always makes life a little bit easier for everybody. I love my neti pot and saline packets. I mix fresh. So I have basically I have that type of stuff. A little neti pot that you put. It's just, maybe I should just put it in the dishwasher so it can be completely sanitized, because I always get afraid that it's been in my bathroom or it's been in my pantry for like a year every time I use it. So I usually I think this looks kind of dusty. Let's just throw it away and buy a new $15 to $20 one, and that's what I do every time. So that way I have 1,000 of those little saline packets, and then you know what I mean. And then I use some I got my own distilled water and stuff like that to make it easier. But yeah. I always get paranoid about it. Always get paranoid about how clean it is. All right, so actually right now we are seeing Bitcoin still come down a little bit. Here's the 5-minute chart. I want you guys to be able to see this a little bit more here with some of these support levels. Everything else definitely coming down here, but again, nothing we can do except for wait to see if we're going to have a larger move tonight. Any big news coming out from CoinDesk today? Oh, this was actually something that we might have talked about. So get out of here. I hate this website for that little overlay. Anything else in here that besides so I can delete them out? Not much. So how Zhao's good guy reputation secured a 4-month prison sentence. Judge Richard Jones said he spent the weekend poring over the volumes of letters of support for this ex-CEO of Binance until the book they were contained in it literally fell apart. Oh wow, he had a lot of supporters out there. He does tweet a lot. So ex-Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, I can't pronounce the name to save my life, may be off to federal prison for financial crimes that led to the cryptocurrency exchange he founded to agree to pay a $4.3 billion fine, but his reputation, at least in the Seattle courtroom, Seattle, yeah, that's close to me, very close to me actually, on Tuesday was never better. The judge, CZ's defense lawyers, and even prosecutors acknowledged during the 2.5-hour sentencing hearing that his 47-year-old billionaire was not your run-of-the-mill criminal defendant, and said he was a philanthropist, do-gooder, and full-time lawbreaker and family man who turned himself in to accept whatever may come. This unexpected I can't pronounce that, of the crypto kingpin's reputation factored into his fate, a tremendously light sentence of 4 months, far less than the 3 years prosecutors sought to punish, and they're telling this is historically an egregious violation of the Bank of Secrecy Act, BSA. U.S. Judge Richard Jones, 74, had none of it. To be honest with you, sir, everything I see about your history and characteristics are of a mitigating nature. He said to Zhao near the start of his sentencing. He recalled going through a book of glowing sentencing letters that CZ's friends and family had submitted. Not everything worked out for CZ in court. He is still due to spend 4 months in prison for failing to implement effective money laundering controls as CEO of Binance. Well, who cares? 4 hours, you know. It's not 4 months. And it's not even going to be that long with good behavior, you know what I mean? U.S. Judge Richard Jones. So who is this guy? Western District of Washington. Oh God, he has the civil rights photo. That's like the old school photo. It's like a black Bukele. Exactly what it looks like. Yep, Seattle Chorus. Oh, I thought that might have more information on him. Oh yeah, the dude was born in 1950. Holy moly. So what did he do? Let's see. He was appointed by Judge George Bush. That was a long time ago. Oh my God, 2007. Yeah. Wowza. Yeah. Let's see. Community liaison officer. Oh geez, he's been through it all. Oh, dude, yeah. Some of the Jones decisions expanding state surveillance powers have been controversial. Oh, man. Yeah, he's a controversial figure for sure, but that means he's not afraid to do whatever he wants. Oh, man. Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. Doesn't seem like a bad guy or none of that, as far as I can tell, but, you know. Hey Ty, what time frame would you say we're waiting for the RSI to come down on? Well, it's already down on everything, isn't it? Like the daily chart, the RSI is bearish. The weekly chart, the RSI has been bearish. 4-hour bearish, 2-hour bearish, 1 hour bullish, but turning about to be bearish in a few minutes. 30 minutes bearish, 15 minutes been bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 1 minute's bearish. I mean, everything's bearish in the RSI. Like if you're talking about when I'd be more confident about Bitcoin being bullish, it would start off with the weekly chart and then kind of work its way up to the daily chart and such. So you'd probably see it switch from the, it would probably go in this order: daily chart, weekly chart, and then you care more because once the weekly chart gets full blown good, you can see, how do I see this? You can see the daily chart going bullish, bearish every few days, while the weekly charts are still bearish, turning bullish, if that makes sense, while that's happening, because, you know, week by week, there's a lot more days in a week. But right now, you know, bearish, really bearish, If we start to come back down here towards 49.50, I'd be kind of happy with that level. Maybe as far down as maybe 42 or something like that. But right now, we're really just looking to see what happens if we break, we tap on that 20 moving average here on the weekly charts. And right now, it looks like Bitcoin's getting pushed down here. Let's bring back up that. There you go. You guys can see all that volume coming in. Oh, I hate waiting. I hate waiting for the move to come down. Hey, multi-sector. Guidelines, yeah, I mean, there are guidelines, but a lot of times the federal court, they can choose to go outside those guidelines if they want to. And if the prosecutors or the defense feel like it's gone one way or to the other too much, they can appeal and have try to see if they can get a different sentencing. For this though, I don't think they would do it. It'd be interesting. Remember, Seattle is a very liberal place. We have much more lax laws. There's bad things about that, good things about it. Just depends on how you look at it. Mostly bad in my opinion, but you know, mostly because I'm just, you know, I don't know. You don't really hear the stories about the good things that can happen from lesser sentences, because usually the bad stuff takes over the news. I think it just depends, but I personally, I feel more of the bad effects than the good effects, but I don't know what the good effects would make me feel like it, to be honest, right? But you know, I probably wouldn't agree with him. God fucking damn it. Oh, Jesus, yeah. 4, yep. You risked your entire net worth to make Binance a success, Judge Jones said at one point. Wow. Yeah. Oh, I guess the judge was like, you could have been on the run. You could have not come back, because he could have been just staying. He could have just stayed in Dubai, but instead he came back to the United States, worked at a deal, and he did it the right way. So you know, the judge was like, okay, this is what you get. You get some brownie points for that, I guess. I don't know. 4 months seems really low in my opinion, but you know, am I surprised with how things work out anymore? No. You know what I mean? I'm kind of numb to everything going on. Oh, so you can only get credit if you're there for longer than a year. That's interesting. Okay. I have not heard of Boomer yet. Just came across. Looks like a rocket. Think I missed on the first pump though. Yeah, you might have to wait for it to come and crash, then to try to buy some up. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Robert. Yeah, full time. Yeah, I said full time. My bad. First time. Yeah. What do you call I don't know. I think I've broken the law plenty. I break the law every day because I speed, you know. I happen to have a little bit of a lead foot sometimes. That's definitely Bill Guns. Yes. If it was, I don't know what to, like. I don't know what to call it. Just like a standard judge or something like that. It should have been like a year to 2 or something like that. I don't exactly know what the guidelines were for, like what the guidelines start at. But 4 months seems like it's crazy low. I'd be interested to see what the news organizations had to say about it. 4 months of house arrest? Oh, that'd be crazy if it was house arrest. I don't think it's house arrest though, is it? Let's see. See. No, spend 4 months in prison for failing to implement effective money laundering controls as CEO of Binance. Yeah, okay. He's going to be the first CEO to go to prison under the BSA. Wow, that's interesting. Good trouble bench. What's that? All right. Bitcoin's still heading down here. But let me see if I can find out more information on this on the side here. Why does it keep doing this weird size thing? There you go. So, sentencing guidelines called for 12 to 18 months. So even if you went to the bottom level of 12 months, you still got a quarter of the time that you would normally get, I guess you would say. So 1 year to about a year and a half is what he should have been in there for. He's going for 4 months. Let's see. See, his personal wealth won't be affected by his sentence. That's what the former federal prosecutor said. Because Zhao and the government came to because Zhao and the government came to an agreement, the government didn't get a judgment or restitution order against Zhao and to do discovery into his assets, said Ramani. He'll have significant wealth when he is released from prison. Yeah, it's only 4 months. He's not going to be there for hardly at all. Oh, so because he did a deal with the government couldn't touch his assets. Damn, I mean, like, that's a pretty solid deal. I mean, like, everything's said and done, he played all of his cards right. His lawyers played all the cards right, and they got some really good shit out of all this. Only 4 months in prison, and he gets to keep all of his money. He's no longer the head of Binance, but he's still going to be making money off of that shit. So, you know, I'm like, it's going to be interesting. His lawyer is seeking for home probation. Richest guy gets to go to jail. What do you call? If you're going to give him 4 months, just send him to prison. Send him to prison. Let him, you know, have some type of thing. You know, it's not going to be like it's going to be some hardcore maximum security prison. It'll be a relaxed federal prison where everybody's just chilling out. He'll be giving crypto advice every Thursday about what coins to buy and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be a stressful time for him. There's not going to be some massive federal thug in there like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna beat up CZ or whatnot, you know? It's not going to happen like that. If anything, he's going to have some extra security, actually. Two-tier justice system? No, in America, never. Basically free? Yeah, pretty much right now, yeah. SoFi beat on earnings, which added 622,000 new members. Holy shit, SoFi must be... I wonder where those guys are bleeding from, because I've been seeing a whole bunch of weird things out lately, like all these new banking apps and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I wonder where they're coming from. Like, what banks are pissing off their customers where they're leaving? I want to know who it is, because I like SoFi a lot. What's wrong with you? Who wants someone that we like to go to prison because he knows prison? I've never been to prison. What do you call it? But if he broke the law, he should go to prison. It's simple as that, right? He already got a good deal. He should go. I'm fine with that. I think he would learn some cool stuff in there. Maybe he could even make a prison token or some shit like that. But, you know, if you break the law, you should go to jail. Should go to jail. But I don't think right now... Let me see. Hold up. Oh, no, I already deleted the page. Back over here. Back over here. Futures are just flat, coming down a little bit more. Amazon cost cut to drive operating margin to double digits in the first time. Oh, that's cool. We haven't heard much layoffs, though. Starbucks shares sink 12% as coffee chain slashes 2024 forecast amid same-store sales drag. Oh. Trump receives 36 million shares of Trump Media worth 1.8 billion. Holy fuck, that's a lot of money. Anything else? Tesla shares drop 6% after Musk cuts around 500 jobs in supercharger team. Pinterest soars 18%. Look how this is such a wild earnings season here. Actually, earnings for Tesla already happened a few days ago, so that actually Tesla popped off those earnings. Supermicro pushes up a full year revenue forecast as it points to strong AI demand. Cannabis stock surges. Biden administration moves to reclassify marijuana. That's going to be interesting there. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it without Congress's help, but it should be interesting. Trump could drive inflation. Inflation's already high. Don't try to say that Trump's going to make it go higher. Trump gets jail warning. Damn, see? A lot of shit going on. I need to pay attention to the news more often. Like outside of the economic news. I feel like it sounds like there's some entertaining stuff happening right now. Back up to the 5. You guys can still see we're heading down here, but we might have one more lower high before we try to make a push down. Again, you are going to see people try to buy up right now and then see if we go higher, but oosh, have a stop loss close by if you guys want to do something like that. Oh, because you didn't know if I get what you're saying there. SoFi is great. Yeah, I've heard really good things about SoFi. What do you call it? I want to do a brand partnership deal with them, I think, eventually. I would love to have a SoFi banner here and have a bank supporting me. That'd be sweet. 2 minutes to 420. Wait, what? 2 minutes to 420. Is that a time zone type of thing? I say it's 7:20 for me right now. I don't know how that would work out, but yeah. Oh, and hey, Lemon Girlfriend, or Lemon GF. Happy to see my man. What's up, Mike? With stock crypto markets dumping, I think we rally with the FOMC tomorrow. I'm hoping you're right, man. I really hope you're right. It's been kind of just a complete roller coaster. But Jerome Powell, he can be very nice to us tomorrow, or he can be very annoying to us tomorrow. I'm hoping he's nice and he says, hey, we see the economy slowing. That means we should have an opportunity to have rates go down this year. I want him to say something very bluntly and very like dovish. I think that would gear the market up at least for like a week or so, where we can have more opportunities to kind of wait for that CPI data coming out in May. Because again, as bad as the market may get here, whether it's Bitcoin, the stock market, cryptocurrencies as a whole, whatever, whenever we have a data that comes out that helps us out in one way or the other, the market is going to reflect that, and it's going to be very, very good for us or very, very bad for us. So during those times, it is going to be fun to watch the volatility kick off and make some day trades if you guys want to do that as well. 420 Hawaii. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what time zone are you guys talking about over there? I've been in Hawaii in a hot minute. 10 people on the East Coast? Yeah, 1021 on the East Coast. Yep. I mean, honestly, I don't think any rate cuts. I bet it's going to stay the same. And that said, most of the market is priced in. Meeker's Media, you are 100% correct. However, Jerome Powell, every now and again, he lets something slip. Every now and again, he gets really dovish for no reason whatsoever. He gets very bearish for no reason, or hawkish for no reason at all. Hoping that it's no rate cuts and he says something dovish. I doubt we're going to have a cut, but maybe he says something bullish. Or dovish, I guess that's a better way to say it. It's a big hope. It's a big hope. But I would be very surprised if we have a cut tomorrow. I'd be even more surprised if we have a hike tomorrow, you know? I feel like you're absolutely right. I feel like they're going to have a random rate cut, but at the same time, I feel like we're going to be doing this until fucking November. Yeah, I hope not. I remember, as soon as the economy starts to show any real weakness, I think he switches on a dime. Like, I think he immediately changes up and like, hey, there's a big flashing warning sign. We're going to do one rate cut just to ease everybody's nerves a little bit. I think that's how he's gonna really fast. We haven't gotten to that point yet. If GDP goes negative next quarter, which we won't really realize until a while, of course, maybe that would get things there sooner. Maybe something starts to break again. I don't know. Like, we've already had banks having their issues and stuff like that, but I don't know what that next trigger could be besides inflation data, you know, and a little bit of economic data every now and again, but it's going to have to be a big shock to the system in order to get him really to change his mind there. And hey, Discount Killer, have a great rest of your night, and see you tomorrow. 4:20 a.m. for France. Like, oh my God, Lemon, Jesus. Somehow they're going to print money with it being election time coming. Oh yeah, what do you call it? They always find ways, Michael, to print some money. It's absolutely insane. I don't. again, you know, if you guys have assets, at least you guys have been making money with all this money that's being printed out by the government. But if you guys don't hold any assets, it's just been like the money has not been going to you. I promise. I don't know. Remember, we've had some good bills signed into law. Oh, I guess I wouldn't call them good, but you know, like good size bills. So remember, we had the Inflation Reduction Act. That was what was it? I didn't type that properly, but that's okay. So 891 billion Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, right? So let's see. Okay, let's see. So, oh god, this is hurting my eyes. Provisions. I guess we can start here. So over a period of 10 years, the law is estimated to raise revenue from prescription drug price reform to lower prices, including Medicare negotiation of drug prices for certain drugs, starting at 10 new ones per year by 2026. Oh, it doesn't even start till 2026. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Imposing a selective 15% corporate minimum tax rate for companies with a higher than $1 billion of annual financial statements income, $222 billion. So that's like how much money it should generate. Increased tax enforcement. Oh, that's how much money is being spent on it. Sorry. Increased tax enforcement, $181 billion. Imposing a 1% excise tax on stocks buybacks, $74 billion. 2-year extension of limitation on excess business losses, $53 billion. It would spend this revenue on energy security and climate change. So, let's see. U.S. Department of the Navy, interesting. Including drought funding for western states. Oh yeah, California, Arizona, they have some issues over there. 3 more years of expansion of the Affordable Care Act. Oh, wow. Changes to Medicare Part D. Increased funding for the IRS. $663 billion of the law's climate action investments are embedded in the federal tax code. So, the law created a green bank. Extended the solar investment tax credits for 10 years and invested $30 billion into nuclear power. Interesting. Huh. The CBO estimated that the act would have no statistically significant effect on inflation. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird thing. But we have that one. We have the Infrastructure Act. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. All that money is being deployed year by year. And so that's why inflation's kind of not coming down as fast as we think. It's not like all that money went ahead and got poured in 2021 and 2022 and 2023. It looks like it's just getting, a few billion here, a few billion there, and it kind of adds up over time, and it just kind of keeps a lot of the money in the system. COVID 25. I like how they say buy gold. Yes, it only goes up 300% in 20 years. LOL, buy Bitcoin goes up 10,000 or more in 10 years. Yeah, Bitcoin's a much better investment than gold, if you ask me. It's just that, remember, there's a whole generation of people that don't really know much about cryptocurrency, or generations of people that don't know much about cryptocurrency. And all they know is to buy gold. When things are tough, buy gold. That's all they know. And what they've seen with cryptocurrency is people buying at the top and then freaking out when they lose like 80% of their value, even though if they just wait a few more years, it goes up like 10, 20, 30, 100, something X, And they're kind of worried about that instability. Loki wants to say hello. He got up from his little nap to wag his tail. Give me an eye. He looks, oh, come here. Come here, Loki. He stretches before coming up. He's such a good dog. Come here. Up. up, up, out, up, 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 up. There you go. I thought he was looking for a toy, but he couldn't find it. Oh yeah. What? No, come back up here. Yeah. Oop. Oop. Loki. Oh, maybe I'll try this. Where's Loki at? I can't see him anywhere. Oh. Where's Loki at? Loki. Yeah, see? If you ignore him, that's the trick. You can't see him, but he's getting behind the ear scratches. And he's wagging his tail. Or you can kind of see it over there. Over there. He's not allowed to bite, so he tries his hardest to not bite while biting. Ooh. I'm sorry, it wasn't painful. All right, back to the stream here. Oh, I'm sorry. As soon as I looked away from him, he's like, dude, what you doing? Up, up. Where's Loki at? Oh, you're a good boy. You're a very good boy. All right, there we go. Yes, good boy. Very, very good boy. We'll go outside in a little bit so you can play outside. Okay. It's getting kind of dark, but who knows? We may actually have a small reversal here on the 5-minute chart, which could be interesting. Oh yeah, there it is right now. It's trying to be implemented. We'll see if it actually is. A little scout play for you. It's beer 30 somewhere. Energy security. The U.S. Navy is a leader in sustainable fuel consumption. Really, they started early. That's good to know, especially because we got so many ships. We got all those strike groups. We have some naval bases out here in Washington, but I don't see them all too often. Most of the time, I see the air bases and the military bases because, God, like, when those things are testing, when they're testing out shit, oh God, the whole house freaking shakes. Not like literally, but you get what I'm saying. It gets rough out here. And then Michael C., quick question, whatever happened to Apple getting into the crypto game? Wasn't something in the works back in 2021? Yeah, there was. I think they still may be working on it a little bit, but it's kind of been put on the back burner. Ever since these interest rates kind of got high, people were really focusing on where the money is spending and what the OPEX is, like operating costs, expenditures. And I think if it wasn't making a lot of money, they pretty much put it on the back burner for a little bit. And they're just kind of waiting for the market to be a little bit more relaxed, like interest rates to go down. And then they'll be more likely to start spending money like crazy on all those side projects. Remember, even the WWE, even Fox News, like they were all making NFTs and shit. And then it's kind of got cut like that. So I think it'll eventually get kicked back on. But I haven't heard much news from Apple about the subject, though. CBO bullshit federal begins midnight October 1st every year, and the funds are committed. Then, if Congress agrees on a budget by September, yeah, if, yeah, that big if right there. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, Loki has a good time. He's really chill. He's a very, very sweet dog. He's just he's almost 3 years old now, but he still has all the energy, and he's still a really sweet dog unless he doesn't know you. What do you call it? If you come on the property and he doesn't know who you are, he'll growl until he likes you. But usually he likes everybody at first. I think there's only been a handful of people he really doesn't like, and it's usually been like if a homeless person approaches the car while he's inside of it, while we're like waiting at a stoplight, he growls at them. If somebody comes in through the garage and he doesn't see who it is beforehand, even if it's me, he'll growl until he hears my voice, and then he starts whining because he wants to say hi. And then if you stare him down for whatever reason, he'll growl and bark at you. Besides that, he's pretty tame, but like he has a big boy voice when he wants to have it, but he doesn't really have it all too often. Well, yeah. Loki will make the market go back up. I hope so, Habe. How's that Hong Kong chart looking? Yeah, let's go over here very fast. Oops, still got it up from yesterday. So let's go over here to the, let's say, the 15-minute chart. That's what it looked like from one day of open. Market is currently on a holiday. It will be open for market trading in 22 hours and 26 minutes. Oh, so holiday. Aha. This is the 3042 one. This is the China Asset Management, and this is Bosera Asset Management. And you can see this one actually jumped up quite a bit from $21, $22 all the way up to $50. That's interesting. 4-hour chart, daily chart. So with the ETF coming out, looks like it had a really large move here. Maybe this will have a little bit more liquidity from now on. Because, if you just take into account what happened yesterday, interesting. It still came down like the other chart, but basically it's just been around for a lot longer. So, I would say at this point, it's following Bitcoin pretty closely. You're probably going to see this come down when pre-market opens up tomorrow. What holidays in freaking Hong Kong right now, though? Oh, right. Wrong chart. There you go. Okay, let me see. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange closes for lunch intermission each day. Oh, wow. They close for lunch. That's wild. Oh, it's New Year's Day over there. No. Sorry. Labor Day. Is tomorrow Labor Day here? No, tomorrow's not. I don't follow holidays. Mo, ours is September 2nd. Okay. I was like, what the heck? So it's their Labor Day over there, and so their market's closed today. That's interesting. So it'll be open tomorrow. And hey, squad, happy to see you. Will there be any entries selling right now? I mean, if you're doing anything, you're probably just watching on the sidelines. If you want to buy right now, your stop loss is $59,000. If you want to short right now, your stop loss is probably around like $61,000. And you're just making a bet right now. Your best bet would be to go short at this point in time. But again, this thing is going to flip-flop for a while here just because of the news coming out tomorrow. If Jerome Powell has good news, we're going to take off. If Jerome Powell has bad news, we're going to dump. So, you're really relying on Jerome Powell being a very dovish actor tomorrow. When is Loki's next play date? Any other females with in the wings? He plays with 2 females. One is Emma. He hasn't played with her since I got back from Las Vegas. And the other one is going to be Nori. She's my cousin's dog. They're not related by blood, but they're as close to, I guess, cousins as I can have. And they have a dog, and Loki likes to hang out with her. She's like 6 years old, so she's a little bit larger, but she older. But they play around really well. They do a lot of sprinting together, which is kind of nice to see them not just wrestle. They wrestle and they sprint, which is kind of cool. Sometimes it's just hard for 2 dogs to really vibe well together. They vibe very, very well. So I'm really happy about that. Loki gets so excited when he sees her that the top of his hair, it all stands up like he's getting ready to attack somebody, but he just goes into full play mode. You know how German Shepherds have see if I can find an image of it. No. You know what I'm talking about. The hair stands up on the back of their neck or something like that. They don't really have pictures of it online. Like, I guess like this cartoon. You can, I know you guys can't see all of it, but basically, can I like scroll up in this one or no? There you go. See how it's kind of like up like that? It's like that. There's no pictures of it happening right here. I don't see. I need to get Loki in a picture like this where he's all properly looking, all done up. Oh, let me see it here. It's hard to show you guys all this stuff. Let me go over here. There you go. I should have him take some pictures like this, except for his hips don't go down like that. His hips like more straight. He has more of a straight back because that's because he comes from that place in Olympia. Let me see. Yeah, here you go. Right, he looks more like that. Well, at least when he'll look like that when he's grown up. I need to get another one of these though. Another one of these dogs. They're not expensive at all. So, but remember, this is his dad. dad looking all cool, long coat, and his mom is this one right here. So they're a nice little cute couple there. And then when they're puppies, or when they're teenagers, they look like that. Those are actually adult dogs. Where are they when they're puppies? I can't even tell. They got a new dog, Enroll, imported from Germany in 2021. I was thinking about getting a black dog, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, pretty darn cool. But they got some long hair there. Loki gets groomed, so he doesn't have that long hair. I don't want Loki's hair all over my freaking floors. I got the robot vacuums to help me with that. Most ETF charts look like that. Oh yeah, for sure. They dump and launch and pump afterwards. I'm hoping they pump because that means that Bitcoin's pumping. I hope. What I do want to see is I want to be able to follow the flow. I haven't been able to find a way to do that easily yet, where I can show you guys the data. That's the one thing I want to do here pretty soon. I wish I closed for lunch. Oh man. Yeah, hey Dick, everybody see my man. Yeah, Labor Day. And Labor every day. It's Labor Day here too. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, see, I like how we kind of have the holidays kind of staggered in the world. We'll be back at 73 within 30 days, gut feeling. If we have some good CPI data, we could launch. We could really launch. And again, it's just a strand, something very, very small to keep in the back of your head. But if Japan can just start buying the shit out of their currency to kind of prop up their yen, that would help out Bitcoin a lot. And I'm hoping that comes to fruition because, again, if we have no decision tomorrow, which we probably won't, you'll probably see the dollar index spike up a little bit. That's going to make the yen just go and just flat come back down. So I'm hoping tomorrow we might see some weird stuff as the Bank of Japan, now that it's going to be open tomorrow, I'm hoping it'll continue to buy stuff up because it looked like, according to their asset sheets, apparently from what I'm reading on the news articles, that they did intervene yesterday. So I'm hoping they will continue to intervene and prop up their currency, because if their currency continues to go down, that would be really bad news. Like, let me go over here very fast. All right. I just told ChatGPT the Japanese yen is crashing right now. Can you look into why it's happening and what it means for the forex markets and for Japanese citizens? And it'll give me okay. Hold on a second here. Okay, there we go. So there's that little bricket that we were just talking about a few minutes ago. While that's happening here, so the recent decline of Japanese yen and forex markets. Oh, actually, hold on a second here. I want to see Bitcoin breakout. The Bank of Japan has maintained a very loose monetary policy relative to other major central banks. That's why it's going down, such as the U.S. Federal Reserve, which has been adopting a higher for longer interest rate stance. The disparity in monetary policies, with Japan keeping interest rates low and even negative, while other countries have been having higher rates, makes the yen less attractive to investors. America has also been growing faster than Japan. So impacts on Japan's citizen and industries. A weaker yen has mixed effects domestically. It benefits exporters like Nissan, which can see their overseas earnings increase while converted back to yen, thus boosting their profits. On the other hand, it affects government spending adversely, as seen with the Japanese defense budget cuts due to the currency depreciation, making imports like military equipment more expensive. Forex market dynamics. So for Forex traders, the volatility of the USD to Japanese yen pair presents both risk and opportunities. Traders need to stay informed about global economy. Okay, so it didn't really give me much news there. But basically, it's going to have an impact. Ridgeback happy. I call it a Spidey sense when German episode. I mean, it's so cool to see him do it. He does it every day. I mean, he gets excited like that every day. But like if he sees a bunny or a squirrel, poof, split, and he stands up perfectly straight and he's looking for it, he's ready to get it. He actually caught a bunny the other day with the help of his little girlfriend, my cousin's dog. We were out at a park in like Eatonville or something like that, kind of far away. But we were kind of walking in the woods, and then boom, the female dog saw a bunny, started chasing it. The bunny crossed in front of Loki, and Loki just bolted after, and Loki was the one that caught it. Loki was like a freaking deer, though, prancing in the bushes. Prance. I was cracking up with it. I was just hoping he didn't hurt his foot or anything like that, because he hurts his feet every now and again when he's running. But he was prancing. I am finally getting a dog. Nice. Figure to go to the pond. Oh yeah, going to the pond with the dog is awesome, especially if they allow you to have the leashes off and stuff like that. It's so nice to have them be able to run around and enjoy the water. Check my email? Yeah, I'll see if I can check my email in a little bit here after the stream's over. What's the max pain of this month? 56 lower? Maybe at worst 52, 54 if things get really, really bad. It would have to be like really bad news for the dollar index, really bad news for inflation, like a whole bunch of bad things are going to happen. Realistically, probably going back as far as 54, probably 54 at the worst. Hopefully, hopefully. Pound. Oh, pound. Oh, I thought you said taking like a new dog to the pond. Okay, yeah, there you go. Pound's also a good place to get a dog, especially if you don't want to raise one from being a puppy, because, Loki was a little bit of he was a little bit of a mischievous tyrant, hence his name Loki. He would, he liked to chewed up everything. It took a little bit of time to train him not to do that. But definitely, any way to get a dog, it's always a good way. Even even a cat and like that too. And these days, I think they always have too many dogs anyway, too many cats, too many animals. So just taking even one, giving it a home, you're going to make that dog's life amazing. Let's get out of here very fast. Why does it keep giving me that damn signal? It's so far, like, here, let me go over here very fast. Here's the daily. Here's the 4 hour. Still creeping down a little bit here. 2 hour. Anything special? No, we're breaking down below that, aren't we? 1 hour already broke down below. Nice opening price right here. It took a little bit of time, but it did make some money. Even that breakdown right there, huh? 30 minutes. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That could be a thing, but I'd probably put it from there to there. And then 15 minutes, we talked about this already. I don't like this chart because it already broke down below it, but yeah, we're definitely in a pickle right now. We're definitely in a pickle. Because, again, we have an opportunity to still go higher, but it's really going to depend on what Jerome Powell says. If Jerome Powell doesn't fix us up here today, we're definitely going down, breaking down below $60,000. Well, what's the support level? Sorry, 59,005 right now. There you are. A little bit of a move down here. And hey, Michael. Wow, I just realized that this is how the heck your streams do not have initiating irritating spam bots spewing crap coins. You know, the ones that say buy this, buy that. This stream is amazing. I have like 1,000 blocked keywords that people aren't allowed to say on the stream. And that helps it a lot. So YouTube, like I gave YouTube a whole list of keywords people can't say. And then YouTube won't let them say it usually. It's not curse words or anything like that, because I don't care about that too much. It's mostly, spam phrases and things like that. So, like, you will see spam every now and again, but it's kind of it's not your typical spam. It could be just one guy saying, hey, like, these tokens are something really cool, check them out, but he'll say it over and over again. That's about the majority of the spam I get in here. What really bothers me, what I get every now and again, is I get these things called, what are they called? Raids. Oh, sorry, I turned the music back on for us. they're called raids, where it's real people with real YouTube accounts, and they come in here and they start talking about a particular token, and they're like, oh yeah, check this token, this is an awesome token. And then when I say, oh, these guys are just trying to sell some shitty token, they're like, no, it's not shitty, check it out. They'll actually reply because they're real people, but it's a group of people coming over to try to spread awareness of their token. And then it just takes me a little bit of time to ban them, because they're not spewing the same thing over and over again. They're actually like pretending to be real people, which my brain doesn't realize it as fast. Yeah, it's interesting. What do you want? Loki's over here trying to get more pets and stuff like that. I'm like, no. You can get cheek pets, but you're not getting back up here. Yeah. Go play. See, I want to get another dog also so Loki can play with somebody, but I'm probably not going to get another dog until we move. So he'll be like 3 or 4 by the time he gets a little brother to kind of train. Because he's gonna train that brother, because I'm not going to be training him. Well, you know, I will, but not like the same amount. I'm hoping Loki can keep him in check and stuff like that, so he'll be a little bit more fun, you know, to Loki's more serious nature. But they'll still be able to play around a lot and have a good time. All right. Let me see what's going on here though, because I do want to check out X and Bitcoin. I want to see if there's been any big news that people are talking about so far, because you know, you see that nasty move right there. Bitcoin Jesus Roger Ver charged with 50 million tax evasion. Holy shit. Government stop sending Bitcoiners. Oh, it must be a song or something like that being sung. Bitcoin continues to store our value better than anything else ever could. Of course, because, well, the country keeps on spending money. Bitcoin is for the money you can't afford to lose. So what is this? Bitcoin is a store of value. I know you guys can't see everything, so let me go here very fast. So S&P, real estate, US dollar, gold, Nigerian naira, Turkish lira, right? Oh, that's a block height in there as well. This is a really fluid chart. You can see when inflation starts picking up, can't you? Yeah, it's been a bumpy road for assets. Oh snap. Yeah, 2023, 2024, that's rough. That's really, really rough. Anything else in here? All I want to buy is Bitcoin, Michael Saylor. I want to buy some other stuff, but Bitcoin is a big part of it. Buying more Bitcoin here. The future is what we choose of it. Yeah. Bitcoin set up for continuation. Everybody's banking on us having the move we had before right there. I don't know if we're going to have that. A lot of it is going to be what happens with Jerome Powell tomorrow. A lot of it's Jerome Powell. I'm hoping we can have something happen though. That'd be good for all of us. This is a weird cycle. My last dollar, 60 Bitcoin. Anything else here? The African Bitcoin ecosystem. Holy shit. That's a lot of shit going on over there. I mean, but heck, they need to find ways to make money just like the rest of us. Imagine this is necessary all along. Oh, that is interesting. And those scenarios that we usually break back down, that would bring us all the way back down to 50,000. Ooh, maybe down to 54,000, something like that, 52,000, but still. McDonald's is accepting Bitcoin as payment in Lugano, Switzerland. Oh, that's weird. I would just never spend my Bitcoin on stuff. You know what I mean? I would just never spend it. It's an investment. That's all it is. The real Bitcoin in self-custody is better than gold, so it harvests. Oh. Perform gold over the last few years. Have I seen Pepe to the Moon music video by AI Kanye? No, I have not. What do you call it? There's so many new AI songs out there, it's getting crazy, but a lot of them are good. You know, a lot of them have been very, very good, if you ask me, over the past few months. And it just shows, like, what people don't realize is all these AI artists are getting very, very pissed off because people are using their voices for AI. At a certain point, you could go out there, find somebody in the world who can sound just similar enough to a voice that AI can make it sound like whoever you want it to be. Like, there's a guy out there that probably sounds like Kanye. There's a guy out there that probably sounds like Snoop Dogg. You can, you know, if they're doing an impression, something like that, they can still do it. There's even probably a girl out there who can sound like Taylor Swift pretty easily. So, you know, all you gotta do is start recording stuff. If you're lucky enough to say, hey, I'd like a percentage of the profits of this song. I know you're just going to be using AI on top of my voice, but I'd like a percentage, you know, whatever you can get out of it, you know. But, you know, those AI songs are going to keep on coming out, and instead of being credited to the author, like, you know, like a Kanye or a Taylor Swift or whoever else, Beyonce, I don't know who else is out there, you're probably just going to see random people's names. But maybe those people can make a career out of sounding like, you know, maybe there's one person who can sound like Beyonce and Taylor Swift. So all of the AI songs are done by her, and maybe she's not making as much money as them, but she's making money, you know what I mean? So there could be AI stars like that. And I'm really curious to see what happens then, because again, it's all AI. You know, it's all going to be a style of music, but it doesn't have to sound like a Taylor Swift song. It could just be using a voice similar to hers. So I'm hoping we see stuff like that, because I just want to hear as much cool music as I can. Maybe not with Taylor's voice, but, you know, out there, maybe Kanye or something like that, or Jay-Z. I don't know who else. I don't listen to much music. But you get the point I'm trying to make. I'll be very curious to see how that works out. Hello, boy. Why are you so sad? You're looking at me like I'm not giving you any attention. I've been paying attention to you all day. Yes, sure. You're a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes. Have I seen the cartoon Turtle Twins Bitcoin segment? Is very good. No, I have not seen that. I think somebody told me about that yesterday. It might have been you, but I have not seen that yet. Does anyone else think that this is a plan by the ultra rich to drive Bitcoin down, sell, and rebuy? Not that I am paranoid. I mean, it's not a paranoid thought. They've done it a lot in the past through previous cycles. They've driven the price down, shaking out a lot of people, only for Bitcoin to rocket to the moon afterwards. That's why we're just dollar cost averaging right now. And part of it is just the way the economy is set up. It is kind of funky at this point in time. But the way I look at it, I'm just going to keep on buying the dips. We've had crazy dips in the past. Things are kind of weird this cycle. I grant you, very, very weird this cycle, because of the high inflation, high interest rates and stuff like that. But maybe, you know, once the rich get their fill, which they're probably going to try to do, you know, everything will kind of figure itself out. But I'm definitely not selling my Bitcoin until we hit like larger levels. Act local, listen local, see human. For Bitcoin naive. Oh, that'd be interesting. Keep in mind, I'm not an Apple fanboy, but in my opinion, if Apple would have created their own crypto tied to Apple Pay, I think that could be a dominant coin into use. What's your thoughts? Oh, I think it could be very much so. I think they're just afraid of the SEC going after them, because right now the SEC is trying to say that Ethereum is a security. But when they went in front of Congress, they said Ethereum was not a security. So now everybody's like, well, you know, the Congress is sending letters over to the judges saying, hey, they can't say this because when they're in front of us, in front of the Congress, they said Ethereum was not a security. Now they're trying to backtrack and say it is. We think that's wrong, you know? So the judges are probably going to settle with Ethereum on this case, but it's just a weird freaking time. And I think the crypto ecosystem as a whole, everything surrounding cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, it'll thrive once we get Gary Gensler out of the way, once we get Janet Yellen out of the way. You know, it could be Trump, RFK, Biden, Cornel West, Jill Stein, I don't care. You know, if we can just get some competent people up at those levels, I'd be very, very happy with it. Like, you know, again, they just have to be open-minded. I'm hoping that the next SEC commissioner is going to be one of the women on the board. If I see the lady's face, I know it immediately, but I always can't forget their face. Speakers. Bloop, bloop. Oh, maybe she's not in this one. Maybe she's at consensus. Yeah, she must be going to consensus. Okay. I didn't type it in properly, but that's okay. Oh, I did type it in properly. Wow. Speakers. Aha. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Commissioner Hester M. Pierce. There you go. She was one of the people that was, she was always voting to approve the Bitcoin spot ETF. So, oh, she's a Republican. Okay, party Republican. I didn't know that. So, there you go. Commissioner Hester M. Pierce. This is the lady. She's on CNBC every now and again when they're talking about it. Hester M. Pierce was appointed by President Donald J. Trump to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and was sworn in on January 11th, 2018. Prior to joining the SEC, Commissioner Pierce conducted research on the regulation of financial markets at the Mercatus Center of George Mason University. She was a senior counsel on the U.S. Banking Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, where she advised Ranking Member Richard Shelby and other members of the Committee on Securities Issues. Commissioner Pierce served as counsel to the SEC Commissioner Paul S. Atkins. She also worked as staff attorney in the SEC's Division of Investment Management. Commissioner Pierce was an associate at Wilmer and Cutler and Pickering, now Wilmer Hare, and clerked for Judge Roger Andelwelt on the Court of Federal Claims. So, oh, she got her degree from Case Western University. Oh, that's cool. Oh, no, Case Western Reserve University, and her JD from Yale Law School. Yeah, so she's been around a minute. So she's good. You know, if you go over here and you just Google her and look for videos, you'll find some videos of her on CNBC right there. It's just, she's very, very informative when you listen to her talk. And she's the one that started to talk about how do you say, that the reason why Gary Gensler is so anti-Bitcoin is because he wants the job to be the next Treasury Secretary, because the person that's holding the keys for him to get that job is, what's her name? It's not Pocahontas. It's not Janet Yellen. It's no. You guys know who I'm talking about. She doesn't like crypto at all. She hates crypto. Sherrod Brown, no. Sherrod Brown hates crypto as well. Elizabeth Warren is her name. That's it. Dollar cost averaging helps me sleep at night. Taylor Swift on wrong channel. Oh yeah, what do you call? But you get my point. They're gonna be people that sound just like her, making AI music using their voices, and there's nothing that the people can do, because it's going to be very hard to see where the AI gets their music language from. They're going to try to find out the information. They may succeed in finding it, but you know what? The way the music is going to be tweaked, it's not, maybe they can say, hey, we will not have Taylor Swift's music in our AI database to kind of pull from to use as inspiration for the AI. But remember, Taylor Swift's music isn't just like her own genre. It's come from other people before her. They just got to go back to that. And even that, they can make something that sounds similar. It's very, very easy to do so. It will be, at least. And those singers, I mean, they're cooked. They're gonna have to really work on their brand identity. Taylor Swift, she already has a great brand. She's kind of crazy with her private jet and shit, but you know what I mean? She has people that would like die for her for whatever reason. The Swifties, so she'll be fine. Check out Block SQ, the handheld POS, small sum saturated transfer. What is that? XRP, what are your real thoughts on that one? I keep on hearing once the lawsuit is done, the coin will supposed to skyrocket. What's your real thoughts on it? It's something where I put money into it and I'm just basically waiting. I'm not even dollar cost averaging into it anymore. It's just a long-term hold to see what happens. I would own some of it just because I think it has some important things it can do, but it's not something that it's not like an AI token to me. It's not like something I'm buying every week or I'm looking to buy every month or something like that. I bought enough and I'm just going to sit on it. So I think it'll do fine in the long term, but it's just not, there's better investments out there. If you want to have some exposure, by all means go for it. I have exposure. I'm happy to have exposure in it, but there's better plays out there. There's better plays out there. Warren, yeah, there you go. Pocahontas, I know, right? That's what I remember her from. Because she said she was like Native American or something like that, and she really wasn't. And a couple of my Native American buddies, they were ticked off by that. They were really ticked off by that, and I was like, oh damn, I didn't know it was such a big deal. But yeah, you should not claim you're Native American if you're not Native American. According to my friends, I guess the news picked it up too. But yeah, I was just like, okay, yeah, fair enough. In Washington a few years ago, we had a lady say she was black, but she just had a really dark tan. Oh, all types of crap can happen these days. It's just kind of funny. Ballpark, how many XRP do I have? Probably around like $1,500 worth. I've had it for a long time. You know how you kind of buy the dip when it crashes in a bear market? It's never gone up enough for me to really sell, so I've always kind of accumulated it, sold off maybe a little bit as it kind of peaks when I see the bull market kind of peaking, and it just might happen, Should be fine. All right, so you got XRP right here. You buy the dips and whatnot. Buy the dip over here. It's never gone up enough for me to really want to sell. Like I've sold some off. Don't get me wrong, but it's never had that big parabolic move that I was hoping for. I know it has a larger market cap, but I'm just kind of waiting for that day where things kind of turn around for it. But right now, my average is kind of closer to like down here on 25 cents. I'm up, but it hasn't been a good ride here. It hasn't been a good ride at all. Even go over here to the weekly charts. Right? Just nothing really exciting happening here. We had some volatility here, but I mean, look at this. Look what happened here. XRP jumped up within a matter of like a month or something, like 21 days, 251%. After that, it fell down a whole 80% about, or 77%. I don't know. After that, I just kind of started to get a little bit bored with it. I sold a little bit up here, sold a little bit over here, bought some over here, sold some more over here. I bought a little bit more over here. And then once we got over here, I just stopped dollar cost averaging it. And it popped up. I didn't sell because I thought, oh, maybe we're going to continue going higher. Nope. This is the big announcement, right? Came back down a little bit more. So actually, I might have actually sold a little bit here, but only like 5-10%. And then it's just been going sideways ever since. I was optimistic when we broke out here. Right, nice clean breakout. But if you recall, when all this shit was happening, it just didn't really have a clean move. You see that huge moves down. If you had a stop loss in here, you guys were just getting freaking annihilated. And you guys usually would have a stop loss if you were trading with this leverage. And now look at it, went all the way to 42 cents a few days ago, or a couple weeks ago. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't seem exciting anymore, especially as Bitcoin looks like it wants to come back down. Remember, one of my philosophies is that Bitcoin usually comes down pretty hard after it makes an all-time high, and it comes back down, and it comes down a little bit more over here. Or, all-time high with the death cross, all-time high with the death cross. That wasn't all-time high with the death cross. All-time high with the death cross usually comes down pretty hard. Well, it's still there, unfortunately. So, we may come down quite hard here. It just really depends on what happens with inflation and such. The more we come down, the longer it's going to take to have this breakout as this trend line extends itself. I'm hoping that we manage to at least try to hold the 50,000s range here, which I don't think we'd break down below it unless we have some really bad multi-month economic data and really bad inflation, which I don't think we're heading for at this point. Again, we'll have to kind of wait and see how that pans out. Should I keep dollar cost averaging Dogecoin? Yeah, if you want to keep dollar cost averaging, you can definitely do it. I do it every now and again. But if you feel like it's not doing what you want it to do, you can always dollar cost average less or none at all. Don't feel like you have to be obligated to do it every single week, every single month, something like that. There are times where like Bitcoin is going crazy, altcoins are going crazy. I just choose not to buy because it's going up so high that it kind of averages up everything a little bit too much. I'm like, you know what? I'll just wait a little bit. I'll see what happens, And wait for the world to catch up. Thanks. Yeah, what do you call it? I'd rather own some than not own some, but there comes a point where I've maxed out the amount that I really want to own of this. It happens with a lot of tokens out there, and I just put more into other tokens out there. Like I maxed out on Doge on Mars at $500. Then I maxed out on Fetch AI at a couple $1,000. You max out on a lot of this stuff. And then, eventually if it goes up, I sold some Fetch AI, sold some, you can open that back up again if it comes back down, but usually you max out quite fast. If you have a hard cap limit, some of you guys don't have hard cap limits, totally understand it, it's perfectly fine. But after a while, I'm like, I gotta start adding more money, which is why I'm gonna make myself a new portfolio here to buy during the dumps. And I'll tell you guys what I'm looking to buy. Some of these are gonna be lower market cap tokens, some are gonna be higher market caps. But if Bitcoin goes down here, a lot of these tokens market caps will crumble, and that means they're gonna be much better valuations for you guys to buy. I'm looking for a decimal point mover two, or two. The two would be great. Patience. XRP is all about patience. If you're still in XRP right now, you're good to go. Dogecoin, it's doing a whole bunch of nothing right now. It's heading towards the bottom. Oh, it actually broke down yesterday. Haha, never mind. Broke down. It's having a complete breakdown, so it's probably going to head back down here towards support levels of maybe 12.5 cents, 12, maybe about a penny less than where it is now. You might see Dogecoin come back down here towards 11 cents here fairly soon, so be careful with this. Dogecoin actually broke down yesterday. I didn't see it. Little bit of hidden support right here on 12.5, kind of what we were just talking about right there. So I would say 12.5 is your next level of support. Excuse me. So looking kind of iffy. An name maker. What do you call it? Shorter hair. What do you call? My hair is longer because I was bald, but my hair is going to get longer week by week. Short on the back, longer on the top. I'm going to do something with it. I don't know what, but I'm going to have some fun with it. But I'm just not entirely sure what it's going to be just yet. It's because I'm about to have to start doing more meetings and whatnot here pretty soon as far as the YouTube channel. Going out to different conferences and events, and I want to meet the right people, look the right way, which is why I'm getting that bespoke suit made, which will come in a few weeks, something like that. But you can see, I got Loki hair in my hair, or fuzzies or something like that. My worst thing is Loki's hair gets in my hair. When I go to the barber, they have to get Loki's hair out of my hair. Loki. Up. You don't gotta stretch for a Loki, where's Loki at? I can't find him. Where'd he go? Oh, look at you. Oh, yes, you good boy. There we go. All right, everybody, I'm going to call it a night right now. I'm going to try to stream a little bit more tomorrow, or if Bitcoin starts to actually have a move later on tonight, I will hop on board. Right now, it looks like Bitcoin's still kind of going a little bit more sideways here. I'm going to grab dinner. Loki's letting me know that he has to use the bathroom, so if I start to see Bitcoin get a little bit out of hand here, and we're starting to break down below 59,000, or we're going back down maybe below 59,500, kind of close to this support level right here, I will be live later on tonight. If we're holding strong by like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and we're kind of moving back up a little bit, I will come back. I will go to sleep and kind of wait to see what happens tomorrow morning. And if we're crashing tomorrow morning, I'll come on live if I can. But for tonight, I'm going to kind of be on call. So if I see something crazy going down, I will hop back on. If things are kind of steady Eddie and just kind of going up a little bit more, I'll get myself some nice shut eye here to kind of rest my ear up a little bit. But I will see you guys maybe tonight, tomorrow definitely, but maybe tonight. So have a good rest of your night. Loki says good night as well. And then I'm gonna go take him outside because I think he's telling me he has